Got a cranky low back every time you train abs? Hi, my name is Ken Wall. I'm the owner and coach here at Move Better in Shavertown, Pennsylvania. And today I'm going to show you the exact exercises you can do to strengthen your abs while protecting your low back. Most Americans have had low back pain at some point in their life, and nothing could be more uncomfortable than having a stiff, achy low back while trying to do you, living your best life. And while we know that having stronger abs is a great way to protect your back, it's crazy to think that a lot of the most popular ab exercises out there actually can make your back pain worse. Things like crunches, where we're flexing the spine all day, or doing side bends, or Russian twists. While they work the muscle, they actually can put a lot of torque on your lower back. The good news is there are exercises that you can do to strengthen your abs while protecting your low back. And I'm going to show you a handful of them right now. Let's get started. So the first exercise we're going to talk about today is a front plank. And what I love about front planks is they allow us to train our abs while protecting our lower back. Here's how we're going to do it. I'm actually going to show you two options. So the first is called a modified front plank. For both, we're going to start with laying flat on your stomach with your elbows down, palms facing up like you're laying on a beach reading a magazine. And what we're going to think about here is just keeping the knees down but lifting the hips up. And once we're in this position, pulling your ribs to your hips and your elbows toward your toes. Then from here, we're going to take a deep breath in through your nose and then exhale hard through your mouth. I like to start with 5 big breaths there. Now, if that's fairly comfortable, to make this a little bit more challenging, you can go from the toe. So to do that, we're just going to lift the knees as we lift everything else. Again, elbows to toes, ribs to hips, and breathe. 5 big breaths. Now, going for about 5 big breaths is a general recommendation. If you go to do a plank and you get 2 or 3 breaths in and you start to feel again in your low back, stop. Let's move on. The second exercise we're going to talk about today is a side plank. And I like side planks for the same reason I like front planks, is that it's going to allow us to strengthen our abs, in this case your obliques, the muscles on the side of your stomach, while also protecting your low back. And just like the front plank, we're going to do 2 versions, a modified and a full. So to do the modified, we're going to start on your side with your elbow directly under the shoulder. Now you'll notice that I've got a pad down here on the turf. It's just way more comfortable on your elbow to be on something a little soft versus hard ground. So once we have that elbow under the shoulder, we're going to stack the knees. Think about pushing the hips up and slightly forward so our body is nice and straight. We're going to take a deep breath in and then exhale hard through your mouth. And we want to hold this for about 5 big breaths. And then because this is unilateral, one side at a time, we've got to do the same thing on the other side. So again, elbow under the shoulder, knees stacked. We're going to lift the hips up, push them slightly forward so our body is straight, and breathe. Okay, and then the more challenging version of the side plank would be the long lever or full side plank. Now, all that means is we're going to straighten the knees. So in this case, again, the elbow is going to be directly under the shoulder, and instead of having the knees bent, we're going to straighten them. So this time your top foot is going to be in front. We're going to lift up everything here. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale hard through the mouth. And again, we want to be nice and straight. 5 big breaths. And then we do the same thing on the other side. Let's move on. Okay, so the last 2 exercises we talked about were basically about keeping the trunk stable when nothing was moving. Now what we're going to do is do a couple exercises. We're going to train your abs while other stuff is moving. And the first one we're going to hit is called a bird dog. So to do this, we're going to start in all fours position. And it helps if you can elevate one knee. So I'm holding a Blue Airx pad here. You can use anything that's going to give you about a 2-inch lift, and we're going to put it under one knee. So what that does is it creates a situation where one knee is higher than the other. So the first thing we're going to do with the bird dog is brace. Think about pulling your ribs to your hips, and then we're going to level the down knees. So your knees are level, and then we're going to straighten that knee and extend the opposite arm without arching your back. So the idea here is to move the arm and the leg without moving your spine. We also want to think about breath here. Exhaling as you get long, and again, making sure that we don't fall into extension here or arch your back. I like to do 5 on one side and then 5 on the other. So again, ribs to hips, float the knee. 5 reps on that side. All right, let's move on. The last exercise we're going to talk about today is called an anti-rotation press. Now I know that sounds like a mouthful, but it's actually really easy to do. Here's how we're going to do it. So if you have a rubber resistance band at home, what you're going to want to do is anchor that to something very solid. In this case, I'm using a weight bench, but at home it may be the leg of a heavy table or a heavy piece of furniture. And you just want to wrap that band around, either in a knot or wrap both handles around so it can't move. Once we're in that position, we're going to move away from the anchor point a little bit, and we'll start with both knees down. Now, if the pulley, or I'm sorry, the anchor point is on my right-hand side, what I'm going to do is grab the opposite end of the band with my left hand. Then I'm going to pull it right to my heart, and then put the other hand on top. I'm going to think about crunching slightly ribs to hips, and then pressing straight out in front of me. Exhaling while I do it. Now with rubber resistance, the further you move away from the anchor, the more challenging it's going to be. So what we don't want is for it to be so hard that your fists end up coming back this way. Then you would need to move back in. So we always want to be pressing straight ahead. I like to do about 6 on the side, and then we'll turn around and go the other way. So when we go the other way, we want the right hand grabbing first, again pulling to your heart, slight crunch. For about 6 reps. Now that you've got 4 exercises that you can do to strengthen your abs while protecting your lower back, go to the description of this video right now and get your copy of our back-friendly core training guide. It includes up to 12 weeks of core training exercises just like this that are going to let you strengthen your abs while protecting your low back. The guide is complete with guided videos of each exercise to make sure that you're doing them correctly. And be sure to like this video and to subscribe to this channel to get more helpful videos just like this. Thanks for watching and have a good day.